No wild card for me, but it is time to buy a defender. My only issue is, do I have enough cash? Welcome to the Gianni YouTube show. Hope you guys are well. This is your team selection for game week 8 and things are hottening up in FPL. We've got people taking 4-point hits. We've got managers hitting that wildcard button. But my advice to you guys is to stay calm and carry on. It's still early in the season. There's still so much football to be played. If you've had some red arrows, don't worry too much because greens, I'm sure, are going to be on the horizon. So in today's show, we're going to look at my team, but we're also going to look at 3 defenders that I really like the look of, and I'm going to be picking which one of those 3 is coming into my team for game week 8. It's an almost certain transfer I'll be making. We'll touch on who I'm going to be captaining this game week as well. But first, let's just have a quick nod to my team from last week. It was a bit of a mare week, wasn't it? It was a bit of a low scoring one though, which is always good to have a not so good week on a low scoring week. So I was delighted to keep my rank of around the sort of just south of 300k. I'm fine with that. So a small red arrow, but I had big returns from the likes of Colwill, which was great, and Son. Trippier has been so good. Maddison owners were a little bit unlucky and the Darwin move didn't pay off, but it might pay off next time. So let's see how I'm set up now for game week 8, because I feel like I'm in good shape and I'm not a million miles off some of those players which are getting a lot of love on wildcards. And I definitely want to buy one of those players that is getting a lot of love on wildcard this week. First and foremost, let's just refresh ourselves with that fixture ticker for the next 6 game weeks. And I've filtered this on the Scout members area just to see who's at the top of the ticker. Now, 2 teams I love, and actually I'm going to be comparing a defender from one of these 3 teams, all these top 3 teams. So, Spurs at the top of the ticker, Villa in second, Palace in third. We're going to look at a defender from each of these 3 players because the fixtures they've got are great and they're all putting up fairly good defensive numbers, but more importantly, the defenders from the teams that we're going to look at, certainly 2 of them, put up really good attacking numbers too. So we're going to compare Matty Cash, Pedro Porro, and we're going to look at Anderson at Palace as well. So first of all, when I look at defenders at around the 5 million price band, I'm not just looking for clean sheets. So we've seen with the fixtures, and we've seen so far this season, these guys in the next 6 game weeks, I reckon they all keep 2 to 3 clean sheets, okay? Maybe one of them gets 3 to 4, but they're all going to produce similar in terms of clean sheets. So straight away, I'm looking at who can I rely on for a bit more than that, a bit more with bonus points, assists, goals. So the expected goal involvement is a metric I'm really keen to check out. And Matty Cash is on 3.66 XGI. Super good. By far and away the best defender in the game, beating players like Trippier, who's scored huge points in recent weeks. So Matty Cash, super advanced for Aston Villa down that right-hand side because they're not playing with an out-and-out winger on the right. Matty Cash and Luke Dean are the width in that team. The front 3 of Zaniolo and even when Bailey plays, but certainly Diaby and obviously Watkins are all fairly narrow. And with that, the wingers are the fullbacks and Kamara will drop into the defence. So it's almost like a back 3 with the ball at times, and then the wing-backs can just, the fullbacks can just go. So Matty Cash, super advanced, and we like that very much. Now, Porro's put up good XGI numbers, 1.14. More of a goal threat than Udogie. Perhaps Udogie has slightly higher assist threat. And then Anderson, well, he scored a couple of goals, so 1.17. Less reliable long-term and sustainable that he'll continue to produce attacking returns as a centre-back, right? A good option nonetheless. Clean sheets so far this season. Well, Porro and Cash have kept a couple. Roy Hodgson teams are underrated for clean sheets. They always get them. 3 clean sheets for Palace, including at Old Trafford last time out. The expected goals conceded, again, Anderson comes up best in that metric. So defensively, Palace are the most sound. And that's reflected in the expected goals conceded as well as the clean sheets. So 9.76 versus Spurs and Villa have conceded an XG of 10.31 for Spurs, 11.45 for Villa, right? FPL points for those 3 players though. Anderson, 45, huge. Porro's ticked along okay on 26, and Cash really good on 34. It is Cash, guys, who I like out of these 3. And there's other good options, like we could go and talk about Soufal at West Ham. We could talk about Udogie in and around this price point. But I like Matty Cash, and I'm pretty confident that will be my transfer in this game week. So let's have a look at my team and see where he slots in, shall we? So I'm going to be playing Onana in goal. Come on, Onana. Can we get a clean sheet, please? Turner goes to Palace away, so I'm going to back the home fixture there. Then when we look at the defenders, Trippier, I expect points again because it's Kieran Trippier, right? He goes to West Ham. Colwill against Burnley. Colwill for his 12 points. Looks good at left back. Assist for Mudryk as well, and the bonus points. Poch loves him, even when Chilwell was fit, right? Chilwell was playing upfield because Colwill was doing so well at left back. But it's the Guardiola spot I really want to discuss right now, guys. I said I had to have a Man City defender because they're the best clean sheet team in the league. They're the best defensive team in the league, and they are. And when Guardiola starts, like game week, was it 6 or 7? I think it was 6. Clean sheet, great, good points. But I can't be bothered with it willy won't he every week. And I want a defender with a bit more upside anyway. And Matty Cash fills that position so nicely. And the City fixtures are quite tough. If you want a set and forget City option, and I'll probably do that later on in the season, it'll be a Diaz, a Walker, not an Ederson. But they're the only 3 defenders will play every minute in the Premier League, or play most games, like the vast majority of games. Guardiola will play probably more than half, but it's the rotation with Ake. And I hoped we'd see them both, and it's just not really happened. They played both in the Cup, I think, against Newcastle and lost the game. One played left back, one left centre back. It didn't work out. The midfield, this is where I'm excited because I've got the Spurs boys in place already. Maddison and Son, I expect big things. Now, which one do you captain? Because I don't think we need to discuss captaincy in depth in terms of do we go against Haaland. I think this is the 1 week we can. Son isn't guaranteed to get 90. In fact, even when he's fit, he doesn't tend to get 90. But he is on penalties and he is playing number 9. And with Richarlison on the left, I quite like that for Son. Good provider, Richarlison, as we saw at the weekend. Maddison against Liverpool was unlucky not to return, hit the woodwork, chief creator, and plays 90. I'm going to likely go Son, but I don't mind those that go, I'm just going to go for the guy that might get 20 extra minutes and therefore go Maddison. So good calls, both of them. I'm sure about that. Saka, I don't expect much, but I can't bench him. Same with Matoma. Can't bench these guys, despite Archer having a good fixture against Fulham. But you play your good players from good teams is my motto always. Doesn't matter too much about the fixture. Good players for good teams. So Saka and Matoma, better than Archer. I saw loads benching like Son in the last couple of game weeks because Son's had Arsenal and Liverpool. It's like, I benched Son because he had a really hard fixture. Sorry, but it serves you right. So you don't bench a player like... Good players from good teams, try not to bench them. Maybe that was a bit harsh, but Foden, again, like maybe his time will be up soon. We are seeing with Foden versus Alvarez, one scores points 1 week, the other the next week, and there's very little between the data, very little in terms of position on the pitch. In fact, let's just have a look at this. This is from the weekend just gone. Alvarez got the points this time round. Scored the free kick, looked great. Foden, what we don't see from his FPL points is he had an effort cleared off the line, and we don't see the average position where you look at that map and go, just as good, if not better than Alvarez. Super close to Haaland. Foden is playing on the right, but he's not actually on the right because that's Walker's spot, right? Like Matty Cash with Villa, there's no right winger in this team. So Foden drifts in central. And he's playing good football. He's playing really good football. And if he got more points than Alvarez against Arsenal, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So, yeah, just worth noting that with Phil Foden. Be patient. And then up front, obviously Haaland, but Darwin against Brighton could do good things, could do really good things, because Brighton will have a go. They'll have a high line. Darwin can get him behind. And what we know about Darwin is Jota's suspended and we think Hakpo is injured. So with that in mind, surely Darwin starts this time round. He only didn't start at the weekend, by the way. Klopp said he effectively ruled himself out and said he picked up a knock in training. So difficult there for Darwin owners like me. I should have bought Morris as I said I would, and I went against him. So that's my 11. Archer first sub, who I wouldn't be surprised. We're seeing injuries now with all the European football as well. We're seeing more and more injuries. You wouldn't be surprised. And look, managers often don't tell you about them. So players like Darwin, we didn't know were injured, right? We didn't know Botman was injured. Someone like Archer, have a good first sub on standby because he might be needed this week or next. I've had 2 subs come off my bench in game week 7. I had a Stupinan, thank you for your -2. And Colwill for your 12. So yeah, Worth noting that I'll be benching a Stupinan this week, though, as my second sub and Kabore my third. So that's my team. My transfer in is going to be Matty Cash. I'm pretty sure on that one, unless we hear anything that scares me away from that direction. And I'm going to be captaining Son. Let me know in the comments what you're planning on doing. And also, if you fancy joining as a YouTube member, guys, you want to support the channel, you can be a member on one of two tiers. We've got the squad members. I prioritise all the squad comments, so any questions that you put on my YouTube videos, if you're a squad member, I absolutely, in detail, will get back to you. And then if you want to be an Ultras member, that's if you want to join the WhatsApp group, which is loads of fun. So come join the WhatsApp group and be an Ultras member. Click the button, join. And guys, good luck this game week. May your arrows be green ahead of the international break. It's always a good one. You don't want to go 2 weeks on a red arrow. And I'll see you very soon. Thanks, guys.